But, like, the left is just losing its fucking mind because they rioted at UC Berkeley, did $100,000 worth of damages, and burned this guy's books, who, by the way, Mio Yiannopoulos is a gay Jew who's dating a black man. And, like, if that isn't fucking progressive, I don't know what is. But the thing is, feminism and transgenderism, whatever the fuck you want to call it, this bullshit is going too far. These are people who are offended by legitimate facts. Like, you tell them something, that's a fact. Like, the Hayes movement, healthy at every size. Doctors have come out and said, no, you're not healthy at every size. You have to take care of your body.
Like,
And then they're like,
there's fat tissue inside of your body that is putting pressure on your heart, your lungs, your arteries, all your major internal organs. That's not healthy. Okay?
Yeah. Like, I'm not going to sit here and claim to be the healthiest fucking guy in the world. I smoke, I drink a shit ton of coffee, way more than my body needs. But, come on, at least I have the ability to admit that what I'm doing fucks up my body.
I ain't here for a long time. I'm here for a good time.
Exactly. And then, like, you've got these people who are like, oh, I'm healthy at every size, I'm just big bone. No, you're not. All our bones are the exact same size unless you're taller than me.
At which point,
Okay?
the bones are a little bit longer, and then to account for the fact that they are longer, they're a little bit thicker, so they stay nice and strong for your size. Like, I'm a little bit more broad in the shoulders than some other people my size. So, like, clavicle, all that kind of shit up across my shoulders is a little bit longer, thus a little bit thicker, so it maintains the strength ratio.
And I have...
That's about
and
as
I'm
far
pretty sure-
as big boned goes. Heavy use of air quotes. Unfortunately, we're not on video.
Yet. Stay tuned because I'm gonna be buying a camera, and then we're going to be doing face reveals, and then the rest of our videos are gonna be done with face cam as well. That's really just to streamline the editing process, but that's neither here nor there. One thing that I can definitely say is, if you talk to anyone that's seen me with my shirt off, and I think Wild Bill actually saw me with my shirt off when we went to the gym one time.
It was the military. There's things that
Yeah.
you see.
My shoulders freak people the fuck out because the space between, like, my clavicle and my shoulder blade is like 4 fucking inches. There is literally a giant fucking dip in my shoulders to where you could touch the bone, fit most of your goddamn fist in between the space between my fucking clavicle and my fucking thing on my back.
The shoulder blade? Is that what you're looking for there?
What? That one. Yeah, that's the word I'm looking for. I'm sorry, I'm getting flustered. Like, I have a weird looking fucking shoulder, okay? Like, both of them are fucking weird. But I don't claim to be big boned, even though my goddamn clavicle is bigger than other people's. Big boned isn't a fucking excuse. You can't just say, oh, I'm big boned. No, the fuck you're not. You're fat. Fat isn't necessarily detrimental. It's not a detrimental word. It's a fucking descriptor. Like, if you're fat, you're fucking fat. Some chicks look good with some fat on them. What I'm talking about are the girls who are like 5'3" and weigh 300 goddamn pounds. Like, you have to do something.
Yeah.
Like, I'm a skinny little fucker, and I know I have to try and do something. Okay? The way I live my life isn't exactly the healthiest in the world. But at least, you know, I have the common decency to fucking admit that I have a problem. And my problem is shit hits my stomach and gets digested 10 minutes later because of my fucking stupid metabolism.
I know your pain on that one.
And then you've got these people who are out here screaming about, you know, love Trump's hate and all this other shit.
And then they go around and they beat the shit out of people. They burn their own fucking cities down. They attack and kill other people. They set cars on fire, tip them over, vandalize everything that they can fucking get their hands on. But love Trump's hate. And that's their message. Remember that.
Yeah, their message is that love will somehow trump hate if you just hate enough. I don't understand it. Um, but slightly switching topics, the left has started this thing where this is on the Daily Wire. A student activist group at the University of Michigan is demanding a separate space for, quote, black students and students of color to organize and do social justice work, end quote.
So they want to segregate their own school.
Yeah.
They want to take a step back as far as civil liberties go and go back to segregation.
Yeah. The demand letter states that the new Black Student Center is not enough because we want a space solely dedicated to community organizing and social justice work specifically for people of color. We want documentation of past, current, and future student activism, and this should be a permanent space that is staffed and has resources for students to organize and share resources. Michigan Review, which first reported on the issue, stated the same organization that criticizes the university for failing to create an environment that engages in diversity, equity, and inclusion is calling upon the university to undermine these ideals by facilitating a sort of de facto segregation, one where space and resources are designed for students based solely on the color of their skin. I'm sorry, that's bullshit. You don't get to fucking have your own little magic safe space because you're black, or you're Hispanic, or you're Asian, or you're white. Guess what? Safe spaces aren't fucking safe.
All a safe space really serves to do is trying to think of the phrasing that I want to use on this.
Point you the fuck out so I can laugh at your bitch ass?
Well, there's that too, but I'll come back to it later. It'll come into my head at some point.
One of the best things I've heard about this whole kind of situation where people are freaking the fuck out is it's actually from Foamy the Squirrel by Ill Will Press. Shout out to those guys because they're fucking awesome.
I remember Foamy.
Yeah, Foamy's got a new series and it's amazing.
Oh man,
you should watch. I'm actually going to link to one of Foamy's videos in this, and it's his video about safe spaces and triggers. But he says you have to think of your mental health as your immune system. The more diseases, or in this case contrary opinions, that you get exposed to, the stronger your immune system is. But if you're kept inside of a fucking bubble, you never learn how to deal with anything. That's literally what these people are fucking doing.
Yeah, they're shutting out contrary opinions because they're quote-unquote offensive. And as a result, they have absolutely no experience with these contrary opinions and learn nothing. All that they know is their own opinion.
Yeah, and then what's even worse is you've got these social media outlets, YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, whatever the fuck else, that allow you to just block people. And I want to go on record here. I think I've gone on record saying this before. One, we will never censor the comments. Write whatever the fuck you want to write. Two, we're never going to block people from saying what the fuck they want to say. That's not the point of this show. The point of this show is not to create a bubble like these people have done. It's to open the floor for people and different ideas. But what these people have done is they've silenced anyone who's critical of them or who says anything against them. So instead of getting that multiple different facets of a conversation to where you can evenly kind of come to an ideal on something, they're literally just surrounding themselves with people who say yes, yes, yes to everything they do. And it's limiting their scope of the world, because when they get confronted with these different ideas and they don't have that block button, real fucking life, they freak out. They don't know how to deal with it.
They shut down completely. They're no longer productive in whatever it is they're doing.
It's one of the saddest things I've ever seen, because these are adults. Like, some of these people are older than I am.
And they're acting like toddlers.
Like, there's some shit going on in the world that I don't like. I definitely don't like some shit that's going down. But it hasn't stopped me from going to work. It hasn't stopped me from waking the fuck up. It hasn't stopped me from leaving my goddamn house. Why? Because I deal with shit. You have to deal with stuff. That's the world. The world forces you to deal with things. Because if you can't deal with it, how the fuck are you going to do anything?
Just remember, you belong to the world. The world does not belong to you.
Yeah. Like, we're all given a set amount of time on this planet. I believe that when the time comes, we are all going to die of whatever it is we're meant to die from. Point A to point B is however the fuck you want to get there, but point B, your ass has been selected for a way to die, and you're going to go at a specific time. And if you spend your whole life working up to that point, literally surrounding yourself with everyone who thinks and acts the same way you do, you are one of the most selfish, self-aggrandizing, self-grandizing, you're one of the worst people in the world.
I'm going to be honest, I have no idea what the word you were going for there was either, so.
Grandiosing.
Gotcha.